What's happening, everybody? We are back with another reaction, and I will be reacting to Final Fantasy VII Remake teaser trailer. Now, this because I was confused because I saw something else said teaser trailer, but it was like from 3 years ago or some shit. But I saw this come up. I saw a bunch of gaming like channels that post just trailers and shit, and some playthroughs. They posted this, and I was like, I had to look at like the first second or two to make sure it was the right one. But that's what threw me. I was like, teaser trailer. But then when I was looking at it, it was one from 3 years and one from like 6 years ago or some shit. I don't even remember going back that far. But yeah, some of this Final Fantasy VII action. Yeah, it is. I'm actually really looking forward to this game. I always say I think they should remaster games. Any popular games from back in the day, I think they should remaster for, so they just look nice. Always give it that, modern modern little tang. But anyway, this trailer's good. Here we go. It better contain adult content, because I'm an adult now. I know I played as a child, but I'm an adult now. I never understood how to say her name, because some people say Aerith. I always just call her Ariel.
Have fun.
I'm here for you, to help take the load off your shoulders.
So, what's our next move, boss?
That's easy enough.
This looks
you okay?
good.
I'm fine.
Oh, this is bringing back memories. No, I'm not gonna spoil it in case you never played the game. This is gonna be your first experience. Oh, they brought back memories. They brought back some memories. Just say it made me cry. Damn, this looks good.
Can you bear to see the planet suffer?
Sephiroth. Cloud.
PlayStation.
Maybe it's the Gotham City in me. We just have a bad experience with freaks dressed like clowns. Oh, I love that line. But I don't think I even said it correctly, but I was close enough. But that looked good. I like the. I mean, it's not a game. We've seen gameplay. They put out a gameplay trailer 3 years ago. And that looked good. I remember that's when people were complaining about how oh, it's not turn-based. Oh, I'm not gonna waste my time. I'm like, well, that's fine. I mean, like I said, you can always play the old one. Anytime something is remade or rebooted or whatever, I always tell people, hey, if you were fond of the original, you can always go back and play that. It's still there. It's probably just as good as you, if you're still fond of it. I mean, like, some people say things didn't age well or whatever, but if you're still fond of it, then you can go back and play that and nothing will change. But there are some people I know that say stuff like, well, the remake ruins the original for me, which I never got that. Like, that never bothered me. Like, if someone, like, I know, I've seen comments on Instagram when they remade RoboCop, and it was on Instagram, maybe on YouTube. I think when they was doing the trailers, but they remade RoboCop, and when the movie came out, it didn't do well. It wasn't. I thought it was okay. It was entertaining, but compared to the original RoboCop, no, it was not anywhere close. But, and I know a lot of people play because they're like, maybe if it was rated R, maybe it would have made it closer. But I don't. Based on the story alone, I don't think so. But it just is some extra blood, maybe curse words gonna say that movie. But it was. I remember people were like, "Oh, this actually ruins RoboCop for me," and I was just like, "It ruins." I can't look at the original the same way again and stuff like. Like what? I just didn't. I don't get that. Like with this remake ruins this. Like when they did that, like prequel to the Thing, where it shows like what because you know in the it's not the original Thing, but John Carpenter's Thing. It starts with Swedish people chasing the dog. Well, it shows that. Well, and the Swedish people chasing the dog, and then McCready and all them in that camp go to where the dog came from and find that other camp that was there run by Sweden or whatever, and our outpost, I think they call it, and they see like a bunch of shit went down there. So that movie which is called The Thing as well, is the prequel to that, so you get to see how that went about and how this dog got there, because they even in that movie with the people chasing the dog in a helicopter, the dog running to the American outpost where Russell Crowe and all of that. But people was talking about how that ruined the original, because that's what people just call that, because they never saw it. I think it came out in '57. The other Thing, it was like in black and white or some shit. It might have been older than that, but and they said, "Oh, it ruined the Thing." But I'm like, how does that ruin a remake that somebody made ruin the movie for me? Like, and I just never. I'm like, what is it? Like you see it and you can't look at this other movie anymore the same way. It's like you just don't enjoy it anymore now because this movie over here that's not really related to this movie other than really name, and they took some of the plot maybe from that movie and put it in here. Some things they call it reboot, and the only thing they take is just the character and they rewrite the whole story and everything. So which I'm fine, because some reboots could be good. I mean, they get a bad reputation, but I guess a lot of them are not up to snuff for a lot of people. Because the one thing you're comparing to something that you're fond of, I don't think a reboot is ever going to be great to anybody if you're comparing to something that you're fond of, especially something you're fond of that came out when you were a child. So I don't think anything can be like that Sonic movie. Like that Sonic movie, yeah, I mean, I'm more curious than anything. And plus, like, I guess I'm not really the audience because I liked Sonic. Like, I think I played like the first Sonic game, and that I kind of beat it with my cousin, so I don't really count that as me beating it because I beat it with somebody else because it wasn't my game. Because I've never owned a Sega or a Sega Genesis or anything like that. He had that, so every time I played over there, anything he couldn't get past, I beat it for him. Anything I couldn't get past, he ended up beating it. But I never was like a big, huge fan of Sonic the Hedgehog, so I didn't. When I saw that movie, it was like I was more curious than anything else. And I was like, okay, they put Sonic in the world with humans, and that's the way he looks. Like, I was like, okay, like it didn't like affect me. Like people was like, you're ruining my childhood. Like I am a 32-year-old man. Like my childhood ended a long time ago. You can't ruin something that's been over with for decades. Like like that ended. I mean, technically, my father didn't treat me like a child after I was 14. Like he's like, oh, you gotta pay. You old enough to have sex, to have a kid. You old enough to pay these bills. That was his philosophy. But it didn't bother me. Like well, I guess movie because that shit's out of my control. Like, well, I'm gonna get frustrated and be upset about that shit. Like in movies in general, like people are like, oh, I'm frustrated with this studio doing this to this movie or this. I'm like, I do feel a little frustration at first, but then that's quickly gone because I'm like, well, I have no control over it. And now if I worked for them, I worked for Disney, and I was one of those Imagineers, whatever the fuck they call it. And we were throwing ideas around, and I had some good ideas, and they were like, "Oh, we like your ideas, but we're gonna tweak this and tweak that," and they keep changing shit to where it's not really my idea anymore because they've changed it so much. And then whatever content, whatever we put out, ends up failing. And now I'm like, well, my vision, and it's kind of on me because they're like, well, my name's on it as like the producer, well, not the producer, but maybe like I was the screenwriter or whatever you doing, you know. And now like, people look kind of looking at you like, no, well, you fucked this up, you know. Then in that case, then I'd be frustrated and upset. But I'm just a person who might buy a ticket to go see it. Well, I'm gonna get frustrated with that shit. But like I didn't like me, but I didn't like what I said. I didn't like. I thought Suicide Squad was just like okay. You know, I thought Justice League was just okay. You know, I mean, I was entertained. That's what I mean. Like, but it's not like I got frustrated about it. Like I didn't like any of the Guardians of the Galaxies. Well, I thought the second was okay, but a little bit less okay than even Justice League. But just I don't really like that shit like that. It doesn't bother me. Like I don't let it bother me because I can't control it, so I'm gonna waste my anger getting upset about it. You know? But anyway, that was I think this is gonna be really good. Like I mean, when they do reboot, I don't want them to be. I do want them to take some liberty. I don't want the same exact story. Because like I say, if you just do that, then I could just watch the fucking, watch or play the original. Like they did Psycho, when they just did a shot-for-shot remake of that. I was like, this is the same movie. You didn't do anything different. Like, even if this is like, you're doing something for a newer generation, it shouldn't be the same exact thing. Like, I mean, add something new. Like, do something. Otherwise, then why? It'd have been better if you just made something new. I guess you say new, but you ripped off this old game. It's like you ripped off a lot of it, but don't call it, you know, like Final Fantasy. But people can look at it like that's Final Fantasy. Like you took a lot of liberty. Like you basically made Final Fantasy, but you just called it something else and changed the story and stuff like that around. But people like that's Final Fantasy. But I'd rather you do that than to take the name and say we making Final Fantasy VII and we remaking it, and you just make the same fucking game. It just looks nicer. Like the fuck was the point? I just didn't. I could have just went and played the old one. Like, well, at least with a game you can have improved game mechanics, you know, shit like that. Where you can, oh well, it felt better playing it, or you know, something like that. But the story was exactly the same. Other than like a movie, if they do that, people get, because it's not a really interactive experience, so people get more frustrated with that. Because like, at least with a game, you can't play it differently. Like I might play it differently than this. I mean, the story is a story, but how I play it may differ than how somebody else plays it. But still, as far as like the story, I would like them to take some liberties. You know, I'm not saying to change the whole lore, unless you're doing a remake and let's say they starting over with Final Fantasy and they redoing, like they're not redoing, but kind of this is a jumping off point to start a new cycle of games, basically. Now, if they were doing that, then like I said, that would make even more sense for them to change it. Change a lot more stuff. That would give them more liberties to change stuff, you know, because they like this is a remake or rebooting this whole basically franchise. But I doubt they're not doing it, especially Final Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy 15 made a lot of money. So plus most of these games aren't even related to one. Are any of them really fucking related? Like the game is just like it is like an individual idea. Like, oh yeah, this game is its own thing, and then you know another game come out and it's its own thing. You know, so it's not like they're not really related. Like there's not like all of them are sequels. So it don't really matter. But anyway, talking too fucking much. A minute long trailer. Talk for 15 minutes. But let me know what you all thought about this in the comment section down below. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.